Hey, yo, what it do, gang? Y'all know who it is. Hey, yo, check it out, family. Like always, man, I want to shout out the people that rock, donate, support to this channel. Even though I know y'all get tired of hearing me say it, I'm always said for the ones that has been rocking with me from day one. Special shout out goes out to y'all. Don't ask for much, family. Only thing I want y'all to do is hit that like button coming up in this building. Let this algorithm know we here. All right, so let's talk about it, gang. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure y'all see by the thumbnail, Jay is still up and kicking, baby. But the ones that's been down with Impact, the ones that's been down with Jay for the longest, I mean, from day one, no matter what, you got to understand something, family. Like I've always said, man, you don't have to stand by the man, but stand by the movement. You ain't got to agree with everything Jay say, but stand by the movement. I said all that to say this. Big shout out, man, Major TV Let's Talk, because they did a great interview with Jay, I think, yesterday. I'm catching it late. And I mean, for the ones that want to go check the full interview, because I'm gonna shout my brother out because he need all the props he can get. I mean, go check out Major TV Let's Talk. You'll get the full interview there. But you know, right here, I'm gonna drop off this audio and give y'all my little rebuttal down through there. Because at the end of the day, man, Jay dressed a lot of things that need to be said. You understand what I'm saying? I know a lot of y'all feel some kind of way about that man, and the man also got a lot of people on his good side. You feel what I'm saying? And just to put it out there, you know he doing this drop the charges rally. I mean, for the ones that's around, he gonna get into it in the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all listen to a little bit of this video, and then I'm gonna give y'all my rebuttal land through there. But check Jay out real quick.
Yes, let me answer the first part. But first off, thank you for having me. And I've been so honored to meet this brother. I want to reach out and say,
positive vibe. Peace and love.
A lot of people don't realize that way before facts over feelings, way before the morning myth, way before any of that, I was listening to this brother. You don't know it. I heard a couple of his speeches. I used to feature him on my IG channel. Right. As a matter of fact, when people started hearing me scream, ooh, that comes from this brother right here. This is the person that actually is one of my learning sources. If y'all want to get into my library, one of the pieces is sitting right here. You didn't even know that. That's why I was so happy when I saw him come. Like, okay, they're touching the right people. Now, as far as the drop the charges rally and weekend that's happening here in Louisville, this is being put on by Louisville. It's not being put on by me. I was very honored when I got the invitation. I was taken aback because I've been going through this.
Hey, man, I told you I was going to stop it down through there, man. But if y'all out there in Louisville, man, go show Grandmaster Jay some support, man. Brother need all the support he can get. I mean, just go show the brother some support. I mean, if you feel like donating, continue to donate. But show the brother some support, yo.
Deal with the U.S. government. He's bogus charges for about 7 or 8 months now. And during that whole time, I'm just going to be honest, no one has protested from it. No one has, there hasn't been any visibility in the streets, so to speak. It wasn't like we pulled up for Breonna Taylor. I'm not from Louisville. I'm a descendant, just like everybody else, of slavery. And I saw an injustice against a black woman. And they say the black woman is the most disrespected person in America, I feel like, in the world. So that was personal to me. So for us to come from out of town to pull up and represent, for her to try to get transparency in the case and get some type of satisfaction for the people, you can imagine my concern when I didn't see the same thing happening for me. So this particular weekend, not just on just the rally itself, it's actually 3 days of events that they're doing. Drop the charges, not just for me, but for a lot of people who were actually charged during that time period for Breonna Taylor, who were exercising their constitutional rights. A lot of those charges have been dropped because of the backlog in the court system that's happened because of COVID-19 and the quarantine. They got bigger fish to fry, so they're really not going to sit there and just dilly-dally all these small, these cops just grab these people and, that's it. So they figured that, listen, while we asking for charges to get dropped, there's somebody who we need the charges dropped against, and that's Grandmaster Jay. So when they reached out to me, and to do it on the anniversary of the first march into Louisville for Breonna.
Hey, man, I told you I was going to keep cutting this video off, man. But shout out to Ozone. Like I said, man, if y'all want to hear this old video without me cutting it off, man, go check out what's the name of that? Major TV Let's Talk, because you'll get the whole interview there. But I want to shout out Ozone, man, for all the people that's talking shit about Ozone. Come on, man. You got to get a brother a fair chance. You understand what I'm saying? Fair trial. Guilty or not, get a brother a fair trial. That's all I'm asking.
Breonna Taylor, it's very significant to me. As a matter of fact, it moved me to the point where I said that, okay, seemed appropriate, and I would definitely be there and I would participate. And so I would say that it shows that the people, not all of us, but the people themselves had their hand on the pulse of what's going on. And a lot of people think that we are not paying attention. A lot of us are paying attention. But what we do as a people, we observe quietly until we reach a certain point where if we don't see some action, it's going to be some action. That's just how we are as a people. And I think that the folks in Louisville, they didn't see any action. And now it's almost a year now. So they decided to have these events. And of course, I agreed to participate. So I'm honored to be here. And I'd like to send a thank you out to all of the different factions that came together. They got over their differences. There are a lot of different groups that didn't really rock with each other. They put those aside. They united. And then, of course, they became excited when they heard about the new direction that the NFAC was going in with regards to helping the people, feeding the people, teaching the people, all these different programs that we were rolling out. And so that means you can get in where you fit in. Even if you're a felon, you can still get into some of these programs, okay? It's not about the guns, just the guns anymore. Remember, our mission was to protect the people, was to teach the people, and was also to feed and grow the people. So we've already showed you we can protect it. We did that 5 times last year successfully by pulling up on situations, not for show, not for recognition, but to address grievances with this institution that continue to wrong us. And anybody who does their real research will see that laws have been changed in the wake of those things. And we thought we had set something in motion that would, continue on its own. So there are other people who can probably pick up that baton and run with it. But now we have to start to address internally. Same way they're trying to get into you internally with that vaccine, if I could be so blunt. We got to get into ourselves and be our own vaccine. See, there's another disease we got. See, I'm about to get happy up in here. Let me tell you something. We already got a pandemic. We already got an epidemic. We already got a virus that's ravaging us as a people, and it's called institutionalized racism, and the fact that they robbed us of our generational wealth, roots. So we've been chasing the bag. When they say we're chasing the bag, see, they don't have to chase the bag because the bag is given to them by their families. They have generational wealth. We got to make a bag and hope we can hang on to it. So I look at all of these systemic problems. The direction that we're going down addresses ourselves internally. That excites people. It opens the door for more people to join us, and it truly become a unified movement, no matter what you bring to the table, whatever your skill. So excited to be here, excited about what Louisville has done, and I'm looking forward to a great weekend.
Thank you so much. That was very positive and informative. And so the elder, Chihuahua, I have a problem pronouncing his name. How do you feel to be recognized and honored by Grandmaster J, considering the fact that you have been like, to me, in the background. When you came out, I first seen you resurface on OCD Great Channel. Somebody told me you spoke about it. And you and I, since then, have built a very, very positive relationship.
And, into a situation where we're being asked to revive ourselves. We're not really asked to survive anything. The illusion that we must survive something is an illusion. And we're here to revive who we are. Our ancestors and foreparents have already survived. And that is the source of our pride. We are a proud and powerful, strong people. We are proud and powerful, strong people. And we are those who come now to revive. And so when I first, through the grapevine and the communication system of this nation, came into contact with NFAC, Grandmaster J, I was very pleased to see that, because I saw that this is a very important reality for us. We need that. And so ever since that moment, I've been really clocking and checking. And when the disturbance came, which we now are here to go ahead and drop the charges, because anybody with a half a brain, not even a half a brain, you don't even have a half a brain, would realize that this is an unjust situation. And it is only right that justice be respected and be given to those who are unjustly drugged through a situation that is not incorrect. So we're reviving a reality that our people, with or without Malcolm X, with or without Marcus Garvey, with or without Martin Luther King, with or without Grandmaster Jay, we are going to revive ourselves. But we are blessed at this time to be able to sit in this point in time with Grandmaster Jay, because the scene has changed, has evolved to a different reality. It's an evolutionary movement. It's a revolution. It's a struggle, but it's an evolutionary struggle. It's an evolutionary revolution. Evolution is what has to be respected. So those who do not want to evolve, they become victims of evolution, not victims of NFAC, not victims of Marcus Garvey, not victims of Grandmaster Jay, not victims of Malcolm X, but victims of evolution. Black or white, makes no difference. Male or female, young or old. Evolution is to be respected because evolution is creation, evolution is God.
Let me ask Jim J this. You had a great show on Diamond Show TV, and there was, we now noticing that there are kings and queens that think highly of you. What do that mean? What do that mean for Jim J in reference to how you think about you and then the future Jim J?
First of all,
now this is a question a lot of y'all been asking me, man. What is the future with Impact and all that? And I've been telling you eventually this brother will give it to you out of the horse's mouth. Guess what? The horse is here and he about to tell you, gang. So check it.
It doesn't mean a thing to me personally. I don't look at it that way. I never did. If you remember in the very beginning when I first rolled out the vision that the ultimate goal was the establishment of the United States, of the United Empire of Africa, devoid of all foreigners that are currently on our motherland soil that are exploiting us, with puppet regimes, robbing us of our resources, our culture, digging up our ancestors, and a whole lot of other things. I had a whole list. And I also said that to the rulers that were there, that the only way it would happen is that for you all to unite yourselves in spite of your differences and then unite behind a single point, didn't say person, point, and push it forward like we did in the past. Which is what all countries have done when they've chosen to ethnically cleanse themselves of certain groups. There needs to be a cleansing of the motherland. When my message began to reach into the motherland, and I began to get feedback, first from the puppet regimes, which meant they noticed the message, but they really didn't think it was a threat, so they kind of ignored the message. But that message has now filtered down to where the true power rests. And that rests with the tribal leaders and the kings, who in effect had their political power taken away, but not their financial. They still own the land, they still own the mines, they still have the ear of the people. To hear those leaders get together and say, here we are a year later, and looking at current events on the geopolitical stage after the demise of the Trump administration and its global policies, they still see no relief. They just see another episode of the same old, the tentacles of Babylon into them. Now they've got some new players, the Chinese, and of course a few other folks that have now moved in for the kill. They've already raped, robbed, and plundered Africa for so many years, divided us up, passed us around like a cheese plate at a party. Now they're back to get the crumbs, and that's what I see them saying, we got to do something. So the NFAC movement, and I think I want to clarify this for folks in the United States, is that we have been, as the doctor said, we have to stop playing the victim role. We've been victimized so much, we've played the victim role so much that now it's become our default position. We're never the offender anymore. So what has happened now is we think that it's only happening to us. When the truth of the matter is, if you broaden your third eye and broaden your geopolitical scope of the world, you'll find out that it's happening to us in different ways, all around the globe. And at this particular point in time, everybody around the globe wants relief. Here's why. What cemented it was when whoever dreamed up this idea for a pandemic, whoever came up with this brilliant idea that I know how we can control the world, we're going to put the whole world through a problem. But when you did that, you brought everybody into a collective consciousness on one accord. And then you stuck them in the house, so they had no choice but to listen. So it was easy for someone to put out a message at one time that they all could respect, including the rulers. Now they're trying to push these vaccines. Now we got black leaders that are dying left and right. Now you find out that they talk about going to a digital currency system, a one world currency. All of this sounds like something we've heard before. You've seen it in scripture. You heard about the mark of the beast. You heard about the end times. A lot of people thought it was just something they talked to you about on Sunday, Saturday mornings, whichever take your pick. But the truth of the matter is, that's the same thing they said before the flood. Nobody believed it until it actually happened. So to hear these kings, these rulers say that they're throwing their support behind me on a global scale. To hear a king say, come home. To hear another king say,
hey, man, I want to stop it, man. I want to shout out all my people in Africa, man, across the motherland, to follow and subscribe to Drop, man. I just want to shout y'all out, man, because y'all do keep in contact with me, man. So go ahead with this story, but I just wanted to shout out the people out there, man, because I duly respect and love everything about y'all, gang. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out the way.
even though we were transplanted from the motherland, the ancestral drum still beats in some of our heads, and we heard it. And that drum is saying, go home. It doesn't mean that this is still not something worth fighting for. It means that until there is a respected point of origin for us, then we will never be respected anywhere on the globe. It will always be an uphill struggle. So it's not what it means to me. It's what it means to the people, collectively. It's not something to fight over. It's not something any one person owns. But let's be fair. When the Most High decides to utilize one of us like a chess piece in the game, if you know chess, every piece has different abilities. There are some very powerful pieces on the board. But believe it or not, the weakest piece on the board has the strongest ability of all, and the doctor said it. Only the pawn can resurrect the queen. Only the pawn can resurrect the king. But if the king is taken, the game is over. Resurrection and a resuscitation is two different things. You see, a lot of people looking for a resuscitation so they can get to the next stop, but then eventually you die. But a resurrection is the rising from the dead, never to die again. So when I look at myself and other people who have been used through history, that everybody say he's a scoundrel, a rascal, that's good, because he's been to the bottom, and now he's been chosen to help everybody get to the top. Not to be at the top, but to help you get to the top. Might not get there with you. We've heard that before. The problem is, a lot of us have become so fixated on being victims that they can't even pull themselves out of the situation. So I think that hearing that overseas, and not just in Africa, they're also the rulers in Jamaica, the Caribbean calls, they said that we're behind you too. What is that there is a unification process that's happening that now has a life of its own.
Community-wise, I don't know where it started. Let's be specific about it. What do you think, in fact, energy should start first as far as in the community? Because we know you didn't roll out and Pluggy spoke about going to the community and really making a difference. Where do you think that should start?
It doesn't start in any one place. Our problems are multifaceted.
I'm just saying, just specifically one thing that, whether it's feeding, whether it's educating, whether it's like you want me to teach people how to drive trucks or what have you. Well, we start first. I understand that it's complex.
No, I didn't say it was complex.
No, I'm telling you, I was raised as complex.
Let me tell you how I'm approaching this since this strategy is being rolled out. It might look complex to people on the outside because it has so many moving parts. But when a house catches on fire, they send a fire engine. But if both 5 houses catch on fire, it becomes a multi-alarm. They send out multiple companies to fight all those fires at the same time. We are in a state as a people where this is a 9, 10, 12 alarm fire. It's not 1 or 2. And the only way that we're going to put out the inferno is we have to attack 10, 15 fires at the same time. The programs that you heard me talk about are not starting in any sequence. They're all starting simultaneously. That's why we're telling folks, get in where you fit in. Because once they all start up, You will be like, oh, they're feeding people over here, they're teaching people over here, they're reverse gentrifying over here, they're teaching people how to get their rights back over here, they're doing CPR over here, Operation Big Mama over here, teaching people how to farm over here, teaching them the Egyptian tech. All of this is going to start at the same time. Here's why. Because the expertise is already in the community. The way this program is working, you're not doing anything that you don't already do. I'm pretty sure Major TV is going to be part of the mass media communication program. So we go into our communities to teach our people not to go get a job, but to give jobs. We go in to show them how to grow their own businesses, show them how to reclaim. People say, take back the block. If you ask them how, they look at you. But if I was to say, well, reverse gentrification, we're going to come in and we're going to buy some of them.
All right, gang, check it, man. I ain't gonna play this full video. Y'all want to go check it out? Please go check out Major TV Let's Talk. You'll get the whole interview over there. I just wanted to drop this off to the family, man, because I know y'all been dying to hear something from this dude, man. And he's here. He's still kicking. Like I said, man, y'all ain't got to stand for this, man, but stand by that movement. Drop always gonna stand by that movement. That's why Drop always gonna put this man word out. I don't care how you feel about it. Because, you know, I get the ones that'll drop me off some. Oh, you still putting up some on this dude. It's not about the dude, you clown. It's about this movement. And as long as this movement means something to me, I'm going to continue to post. For the ones that don't like this video, man, y'all can continue to thumbs it down. I don't even care. You know, y'all got, it's quite a few of y'all J haters out there still. I mean, but to each his own. Never tried to put y'all on no bandwagon. Never tried to make y'all do something y'all ain't want to do. But to the family, man, like always, is Drop. I did want to drop this video off, man. I'll be hitting y'all with another one later because I do got something to say. But like always, is Drop. I love y'all. Y'all stay safe. Stay out the way. Keep your head on the swivel. Don't hurt nobody, but don't let nobody hurt y'all. But also stay dangerous. I love y'all, yo. I'll holler at y'all later one.